YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Guy here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video we're here to preview the Washington football team versus the Seattle Seahawks Week 15 matchup. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. Roll the intro, baby. We are Washington. Let's get it.
We Washington, we Washington, we Washington, we Washington, man, we Washington.
So, Washington football team finally back at the crib, man. We haven't played at home for I don't know how long, and this is a big game. Every game from here on out, I don't care if you believe we're the better team, we're the worst team, every game from here on out is a playoff game. We have to look at it as such, because if we don't, one loss could send us home. Really, that's how it should look out. For even though the playoffs doesn't start for a couple more weeks, that's our playoffs started 2 weeks ago. So, with that being said, Seattle Seahawks making a cross-country trip to play the Washington football team. The last time they made a cross-country trip was to New Jersey, and they lost. Not saying, but I'm saying. So, before we get into the keys to victory, we have to go over the elephant in the room, and that is Alex Smith. Will he start? Will he not? Well, it's uncertain at this moment. We don't know if he's going to start. I'm recording this on Friday, and they are currently practicing as I speak, and he doesn't have his helmet. He hasn't had on. He's just standing there, and if you guys been keeping up with this, you know he hasn't practiced all week, and it's been Dwayne Haskins taking the first team snaps. And this is very unfortunate, because if you guys know, I was the biggest Dwayne Haskins fan, and I'm still pulling for the guy to be successful. But it's hard, because every time he goes out there, I'll be like, okay, Dwayne, I want you to do good. Because like I said, you guys know, I was the biggest Dwayne Haskins supporter and advocate this offseason. I was pulling for the guy to win MVP. And I didn't think he was going to actually win MVP, but that's the standard that I had for my quarterback, because I thought he was going to make a major leap this offseason, or this upcoming season. And has he lived up to that? No. I said he was going to be better than Daniel Jones. Has he lived up to that? No. Daniel Jones is obviously the better quarterback at the moment. So, Dwayne Haskins, every time he goes out there, I want to support the guy, and I want to be like, okay, Dwayne, let's go, you're my quarterback. But every time he goes out there, he doesn't give me nothing to cheer for. Last game, you threw a 500-mile-per-hour fastball to Terry McLaurin, and he's right there in front of your face. You did the same thing to Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber had to make a spectacular catch, where all as you had to do was hit him out in stride. You missed Steven Sims on a touchdown. You know, Steven Sims dropped a pass that was catchable, but it wasn't the best ball, but it still was catchable. You missed Steven Sims on a touchdown. You missed another touchdown. So Dwayne Haskins, every time he steps onto the field, it's just like, oh man, here we go again. And that's what people probably get misconstrued is Washington fans, we want him to be successful. We want him to be good. We want him to be our quarterback. But every time he steps out on there, it's just like, dude, you don't look ready. You know what I'm saying? He looks scared. He doesn't step into none of his throws. He throws off his back foot. You know, it's like his foot is stuck in the ground. He can't move him. He tries to rely on strictly his arm, and this isn't Ohio State anymore, buddy. You got to realize that. But I digress. So Dwayne Haskins taking all the first team reps this week, and honestly, I'm hoping Alex Smith can play, but as right now, we don't know. And if Alex Smith can't play, I'm going to be honest, it's not going to look too good for us, but as you guys know, I don't make the predictions. I leave that up to you guys. Every time I don't predict a game, we win, and every time I do, we lose. So I'm not going to predict the game or predict the score. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. So, on a positive note, Antonio Gibson was practicing today, or he is practicing now, I should say. He's going through the individual drills. Now, he's not practicing with the team, but he is going through the individual drills with his running back group. So that's courage, because remember, when Steven Sims had his turf toe injury, he wasn't in the building for a month. So that is something to look forward to, and that's something good, because now his certainty or his availability to play next week versus Carolina actually just shot up. I don't think he's going to play this weekend, but I think his certainty or his availability to play next week versus the Carolina Panthers kind of went up. But still, we don't know, because it's turf toe. You know what I'm saying? It could be fine one moment, and then the next moment it could be, you know, back to how it was, or even possibly worse. So hopefully Antonio Gibson is back next week, because Lord knows we need him. Now, more positive news. Antonio Gandy Golden, actually. He is back at practice too, and he's been practicing all week, and he was practicing today too. You know, I believe he was practicing with the ones, but they didn't specify, but they just said that he was back at practice. Ron Rivera said he made a spectacular grab, and the more important for Antonio Gandy Golden is to see how he is playing, and not as far as how he is on the field, but his condition, because he's been out for months. So we got to see if he's still in shape. AGG looks to be in shape, and hopefully he's back this week, but we don't know. Now, let's get to these keys to victory. Key number one: to limit the Seattle Seahawks passing attack. Seattle Seahawks have a great passing attack. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Moore. I believe his name is William Moore, David Moore, Will Disley. They have a bunch of weapons, and they have Chris Carson out the backfield. They have Carlos Hyde, who we know can catch the rock out the backfield. So we have to limit their passing attack. So that means we got to get after Russell Wilson. We got to contain him in the pocket. We got to send some stunts at him. We got to do whatever we can. Secondary, you gotta clamp up. You got to make sure you're in your zone. And when we have man, you got to make sure you're in your man's chest. You know what I'm saying? It's not that simple, but if we can play our game and play how we've been playing for the past couple weeks, we really have a shot at winning this game. Washington football team players, defense: Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, John Allen, Tim Settle. You have to get after Russell Wilson. Rough him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We'll do it with the New York Giants. Use the New York Giants as a blueprint. You know how we said that the Baltimore Ravens exposed some things about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we used that to our advantage? Do the same thing for the New York Giants. This is the same New York Giants team that held the Seattle Seahawks to 12 points. And we have a defensive line, if not better, right up there with them, that could do the same thing, if not more. You know, so we got to use that as a blueprint. Get after Russell Wilson. Limit DK Metcalf. James Bradbury. We don't have a James Bradbury on this team, but he did a damn good job at taking DK Metcalf kind of out of that game. So, and I don't mean he literally out of the game because he had catches, but he limited what he was going to do. I don't think he had over 80 yards in the game. I could be wrong. But more of the story is limit DK Metcalf. Try to take away Tyler Lockett as much as possible. You know they love to go deep down the seam to Tyler Lockett. So do everything you can to limit that passing attack. Next on the list, get after Russell Wilson. And I know I kind of said that into this one, but the reason why this is a separate key is because that offensive line of theirs is horrible. It really is. It's horrible. Russell Wilson has been sacked. He's up there for getting sacked the most in the NFL. Obviously, no one's higher than Carson Wentz, but he's up there. He gets hit quite a bit. And last week versus the Jets, obviously it's the Jets, we know, but he didn't get hit at all. So, I mean, yeah, they probably have some confidence for beating the Jets, but come on, it's the Jets. So this defensive line is going to have to get after Russell Wilson, rough him up, and blow past his offensive line. This offensive line is horrible. It really is. It doesn't stand a chance against us, and I don't see why we don't have a clear shot at Russell Wilson, if not every play, almost every play. We got to confuse Russell Wilson, and I know that's going to be hard because he's a savvy vet, but Jack Del Rio, you got to throw some different looks at him. You know what I'm saying? Throw some stunts at him. You know, you can't just go out there and basic cover 3, cover 2, cover 1 man, whatever you want to do, whatever. You can't just go out there and basic defense because Russell Wilson's going to carve us up. We got to go out there and disguise some things. Next key on my list is to limit the rushing attack. Now, their rushing attack isn't the best, but since they have got Carlos Hyde and also Chris Carson back healthy, their rushing attack has been pretty solid. So we got to do a good job at limiting the rushing attack. If we can limit Chris Carson to maybe 60 yards, we would probably have a good chance to win this game. But if he has over 60 yards and a touchdown or even 2, yeah, we don't have a shot at winning this game. I'm going to just be honest. So next key on my list, and this is for the offense now. Attack that secondary. That secondary is weak. Outside of Jamal Adams, maybe Shaquille Griffin, Trey Flowers, whatever, however you want to look at it, they're okay, but trust me. It's a reason why they're in the bottom half of the league in their defense. I believe their defense is giving up 294 yards in the secondary. I believe. I don't remember the exact stat, but it's almost 300 yards in the secondary for each and every game. So we have to take advantage of that, and that's why it's important. Whoever plays quarterback knows that, and whether that's Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, that's why it's important that we really get Alex Smith back. But I didn't want to say that because I want to believe in Dwayne Haskins. But it's important to have the guy that we're out there that's going to win. Now I can say this: if Dwayne Haskins actually starts and we actually somehow win, and I'm hoping we win, then you could look to possibly rest Alex Smith for the Eagles game and the Panthers game. Because I'm not saying the Panthers or Eagles are going to walk in the park, but I would, if we win this game Sunday, I would probably look to rest Alex Smith and have Dwayne Haskins actually play versus the Panthers and Eagles. Because if Dwayne Haskins beats Seattle, why can't he beat Carolina? Why can't he beat Philly? He did it last year, beating Carolina. So why can't he do it again? You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's kind of important for if Dwayne Haskins starts, he wins this game. Not only for the team, but for himself. You know what I'm saying? Because if he wins, I will put him out there next week, have Alex Smith heal up, and he'll be back ready for the playoffs if we do make it and if we do win. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. That's just my thinking. Next key on my list for the offense is to establish the run game. Yes, I know we're missing Antonio Gibson, but we still have J.D. McKissick. We have Peyton Barber, who's dealing with an ankle injury. That's why we brought in Lamar Miller. But he has to suck it up and play. I'm sorry, Peyton Barber has to play because we're already limited at running backs position. And without Antonio Gibson, Peyton Barber and J.D. McKissick actually had something going last week. They combined for 101 yards, minus Dwayne Haskins taking these at the end of the game. So it was really working. And this run defense isn't that good, but it did get better with the addition of Carlos Dunlap. So we can still manage to run the ball on him. Next key on my list, get Terry McLaurin involved early and often. And whether that's some short passes, some passes across the middle, try your best to get Terry McLaurin open. And whether that's moving him around from the outside to the slot, we got to get the ball in 1-7's hands. And if we do, we can be up for greatness. You know what I'm saying? And not even necessarily giving him the ball by giving him the ball, but use him like you did in Pittsburgh. Use him as a decoy to allow Logan Thomas, Cam Sims, all them boys to go off. You know what I'm saying? It's really easy keys when you look at it for Scott Turner. Because it's the same every week. Get your playmakers the ball. And I feel like he does a good job at that, but where he goes wrong is when we get in the red zone, he has a meltdown and he wets the bed. So that's my next key, and that's probably my last key is Scott Turner. Better play call in the red zone. No more of this rolling out to your right. No more of this trying to do trick plays in the red zone. Shoot, run the ball if you have to. But if you're going to call some passing plays, scheme up some pick plays or something. But every time goes in the red zone, he has a meltdown. I don't know what it is about Scott Turner, and is he scared of the red zone? But every time you get down there, you just want to choke him. You just want to grab him by the neck and just say, Scott, what are you doing? So hopefully he can fix that. But quickly, honestly, it's really nothing to it because every single week we know what we have to do, and hopefully we go out there and execute. So as always, it's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, host, and watch the football team. Put your predictions down below. You know I don't predict the games because every time we don't predict them, we win, and every time we do, we lose. So that's my superstition, and that's my thinking, and that's what I believe is going to happen. So hopefully that stands true this week. I'm not going to predict the game. I'll leave it up to you guys down below. So make sure you guys put that down below. And as always, me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, host, and watch the football team. I'm out. Peace.